chosen ones. Have you ever walked into a room and everything suddenly changed? Eyes shift. The air feels different. It's not your imagination. Why is it that people act strange around you, even when you haven't said a word? What do they see that you can't? There was a young woman named Aaliyah. She never quite fit in, not because she was awkward, but because she carried an energy too deep for shallow souls. Every job she worked at, people whispered. Every friend group, she stood out. One day, a stranger walked up to her at the grocery store and said, "You know you're not like the rest of them, right? You carry light." That moment changed everything. It wasn't arrogance, it was alignment. She wasn't trying to be different, she just was. Aaliyah was a chosen one, and the world could see it before she could. People can sense the divine on you before you ever open your mouth. You're marked, set apart, and even though you might try to blend in, heaven already wrote your name in bold. In this video, we're diving deep into the 7 unmistakable signs people recognize you are the chosen one. Not everyone will say it to your face, but trust me, their behavior exposes what their words can't. As it says in John 1:5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Chosen ones, stick with me till the very end of this video, because understanding these signs will not only protect your peace, but sharpen your awareness. You need to know who you are and why you affect people the way you do. This isn't a coincidence. This is confirmation. So buckle up, angels. Let's unravel the mystery of why people stare, shift, stalk, and even fear you, without you doing a thing. Your glow isn't random, it's revelation. Let's get into it. Sign 1. People feel intimidated by your presence, even when you're silent. You walk into the room, and suddenly, the atmosphere changes. Not just a subtle shift, but a full-on energetic pivot. That laugh someone just let out, cut short. The confident chatter in the corner, suddenly muted. Eyes glance up, then dart away. People fidget with their phones or pretend to be deep in thought. No, you didn't say a word. You didn't have to. Your presence did all the talking. And angels, this isn't imagination. It's spiritual reality in motion. You carry a frequency, a divine authority that's not of this world. It's the kind of energy that walks ahead of you, lingers behind you, and whispers truth into the very air around you. Your aura doesn't just light up a room, it reveals it. And when you enter, masks fall off. Not because you ask them to, but because the vibration of authenticity makes deception feel too heavy to wear. This isn't about ego or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about spiritual sensitivity. You've been divinely calibrated to detect energy, to pick up on what people try to suppress: fear, jealousy, insecurity, false motives. You don't need proof or gossip, you feel it. That's why some people act strange around you. Your soul sees what their mouths won't admit, and that can be terrifying for those still hiding from their own truth. Here's the thing. Not everyone wants to be seen. And being around someone who can read the room without trying, who walks in truth without speaking it, can feel like standing under a spotlight with nowhere to run. But don't shrink because of that. You weren't made to dim your light for someone else's comfort. Your energy wasn't crafted to maintain the status quo. It was built to shake things up. You wake people up just by being you. You stir the stagnant, challenge the comfortable, and bring light to shadowed corners, not out of rebellion, but out of divine assignment. So the next time the room gets quiet when you walk in, remember, it's not intimidation, it's illumination. You're not a problem, you're a mirror. And while some may look away, others will look within. Keep walking in that truth, angel. Your energy is doing exactly what it was sent to do. Sign 2. You're constantly misunderstood, even when your intentions are pure. You give love, and they look at you sideways. You offer truth, and suddenly you're judgmental. Sound familiar, Earth Angel? If this hits a nerve, it's because you've experienced the weight of being misunderstood. Not because you were wrong, but because you were real. Your authenticity speaks a language some people have never heard before, and instead of leaning in, they flinch. That's not your fault. It's your frequency. Chosen ones vibrate on a level most people can't comprehend. You come from love, you move with wisdom, and you speak from a soul that's been through lifetimes of refinement. But here's the thing. High-frequency energy can't be digested by low-vibration minds. You could serve up divine truth on a silver platter and still, they'd accuse you of arrogance, judgment, or ulterior motives. That's not your cue to shrink. That's confirmation you're ascending. Some people have never encountered pure energy, so when you show up with raw love, compassion, clarity, and power, they panic. Realness threatens illusion. Light exposes darkness. You showing up as your whole healed self, it confronts every mask they've worn to survive. But don't take it personally. Even Jesus, the ultimate embodiment of divine love and truth, was misunderstood. So were every prophet, every healer, every spiritual giant who walked the earth before you. Misunderstanding isn't rejection, it's a sacred red flag that says, this isn't your crowd. Here's a perspective shift. Being misunderstood can actually be divine protection in disguise. It filters out those who can't handle your purpose. It shields your energy from those who would mishandle it. In a world addicted to surface-level connection, your depth is both a gift and a gatekeeper. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to be recognized by the ones who see. So don't water yourself down to be digestible. Don't dim your truth to avoid being called too much. Your light is meant to discomfort the darkness. Stay rooted in love, anchored in truth, and committed to your path, even if it's the narrow one. Because the higher you go, the fewer people can breathe at your altitude. Let them misunderstand. Let them whisper. That's not your burden. Your only job is to keep walking, glowing and growing. Sign 3. People watch you closely, even strangers. Ever caught someone staring at you in public, and they quickly looked away like they got caught stealing cookies from heaven's jar? Yeah, chosen one. That wasn't your imagination. That was your light speaking before you even said a word. Your presence enters the room like a whispered prophecy, and people feel you before they even see you. It's not the designer clothes or a fresh haircut, though let's be real, you always come correct. It's the divine glow you carry that rattles something deep in people's spirit. There's an energy field around you that can't be faked or replicated. In fact, studies in quantum physics show that everything, including you, is energy. But your frequency is different. You don't just walk through life, you vibrate through it, and others can feel that. You're the kind of person that causes people to pause mid-sentence or glance up from their phones. Not because you're loud, but because you resonate. Your calm confidence, your quiet strength, and your authentic aura speak louder than any words ever could. When people stare, it's not always admiration. Some are simply confused. How can someone be so grounded, yet so unbothered? Others are intimidated, because your energy exposes what they lack in themselves. You're like a mirror to their insecurities, and that can feel threatening. But don't let that rattle you. You weren't called to blend in, you were born to stand out. And yes, angels, even in a crowd you radiate like a lighthouse in a sea of lost ships. This is what it means to carry spiritual weight. You may feel watched, studied, or even misunderstood, but the truth is, you are a walking miracle. Your very existence is a testimony. People don't just notice you, they feel you. And that's why the room shifts when you walk in. It's not ego, it's essence. So never apologize for the spotlight heaven put on you. That light was assigned to you for a purpose. It was sculpted by your trials, polished by your prayers, and ignited by your resilience. Keep shining, unapologetically. Let the stares come. Whether they're watching to admire, to study, or to scheme, one thing is certain. They know you're different. And deep down, they know it's divine. Sign 4. You make people reflect on themselves without trying. You didn't have to preach, argue, or even raise an eyebrow. You just existed, and suddenly people start getting weirdly honest around you. They begin to explain their choices, justify their questionable behavior, or even randomly confess things you didn't ask about. Why? Because your energy carries the frequency of truth. And truth is powerful. It doesn't need a microphone or a spotlight. It just is. When people are in the presence of someone who walks in truth, it naturally activates something in their conscience. You, chosen one, are a spiritual mirror, and not everyone is ready to see their true reflection. In psychology, this is called the mirror effect, and it's very real. When someone carries calm confidence, integrity, and authenticity, they unknowingly invite others to examine themselves. That's you. Your quiet strength doesn't go unnoticed. It disarms egos, it exposes pretense. And it can make others uncomfortable, not because you're judging them, but because their own soul is reacting to the truth you embody. You're not trying to convict them, but your very presence stirs the parts of themselves they haven't dealt with. It's like holding up a divine flashlight without ever flipping the switch. Your aura is the switch. Many chosen ones report being treated strangely by others, people opening up unexpectedly or becoming defensive for no reason. That's not paranoia, that's the spiritual realm doing its job. Your energy, rooted in divine awareness, triggers spiritual reflection. It's why people respect you, even when they act like they don't. Deep down, they feel something sacred about you. You awaken a kind of holy discomfort, a soul-level awareness that says, I should do better, be better. But here's the twist. Don't let their reactions shrink your light. Not everyone will thank you for being a mirror, some will resent it. But that's not your burden to carry. Your assignment isn't to be liked, it's to be light, so shine anyway. Walk with your truth, even if it means walking alone sometimes. You were born to reflect higher standards, deeper wisdom, and raw, unfiltered truth. And while not everyone will appreciate it on the surface, everyone feels it. Even when they can't say it, they know. You're not just someone, they recognize something divine in you. Sign 5. You feel both loved and resented by the same people. Ever had someone say they love you, support you, or have your back, only to find out later they were the ones quietly pulling the strings on your downfall? Maybe they smiled at your victories, but their eyes told a different story. Maybe they clapped when you succeeded, but it was a slow clap, filled with silent envy. That, chosen one, isn't just drama. That's spiritual warfare in disguise. It's not about gossip or petty behavior. It's about energy, frequency, light, and darkness. You see, when you carry divine favor, when your spirit is marked, your purpose is sacred, and your aura is lit with that holy glow, it shines a light on everything around you, including the shadows in others. And those who haven't dealt with their own demons, they feel exposed just being near you. Your presence becomes a mirror they didn't ask to look into. You didn't come to condemn them. You just walked in the room, and their soul felt convicted. That's the paradox of being anointed. People are spiritually drawn to your energy. They want to bask in your peace, your insight, your joy. But their ego, oh, it can't stand it. Their pride says, why them and not me? Their wounded self says, they don't deserve that glow. But what they don't understand is, you paid for that glow. You carried crosses they never saw. You walked through fire with no applause. You were stretched, stripped, and sanctified in silence. They want your blessings without bearing your burdens. They want your crown without walking your path. That's why their admiration is laced with resentment. But don't let their inner battles disturb your peace. Stay gracious, stay wise. Keep your head high and your circle tight. God allows even your enemies to witness your rise, not to humiliate them, but to humble them. They'll learn through you. Whether they like you or not is irrelevant. You weren't chosen to be popular, you were chosen to be powerful. Leadership, especially divine leadership, doesn't come with crowd approval. It comes with calling. So don't dim your light to make others comfortable. You're not here to fit in, you're here to stand out. Let them wrestle with their confusion while you keep walking in clarity. You're not here to be liked, you're here to lead. Sign 6. Children and animals are drawn to you instantly. There's something profoundly spiritual about the way children and animals respond to certain people. And if you've ever noticed them gravitating toward you with ease, that's not something to dismiss as random. It's deeper than cuteness or coincidence. It's resonance, it's energy, it's the soul's silent recognition of purity. Let's break it down. Children and animals operate without the filters that adults develop over time, filters shaped by social norms, ego, and trauma. They haven't been conditioned to ignore their instincts. Their perception of the world is rooted in feeling, not judgment. When a dog wags its tail uncontrollably around you, when a cat curls up beside you like it's found its sanctuary, or when kids laugh, talk, or run to you without hesitation, what you're witnessing is the language of energy and motion. And they're saying, you're safe, you're good, you're pure. From a psychological perspective, children are highly attuned to nonverbal cues. Studies in developmental psychology confirm that kids pick up on tone, facial expressions, and emotional resonance long before they understand the complexity of language. Similarly, animals have evolved to sense emotional energy for survival. Dogs, for instance, can detect changes in human cortisol levels, meaning they literally feel your stress or calm. So if your presence brings them peace or joy, it means your energy field is radiating alignment. Spiritually, this is a sign of a chosen one. Your aura doesn't lie, and it doesn't need a microphone. Innocent beings recognize it instinctively. The purity in you, a heart that holds love, compassion, and sincerity, calls out to the innocence in them like a lighthouse in the fog. It's a silent exchange, but one that's deeply sacred. It's not about being perfect. It's about being genuine, untainted by malice, and anchored in a higher frequency. So the next time a toddler smiles at you from a shopping cart or a stray animal lingers by your feet, don't brush it off. Don't laugh it away. Smile back. Because something eternal in you is being seen, felt, and embraced. This is spiritual alignment in its purest form. The soul always knows, and when the innocent see you, they see home. Sign 7. You've been attacked, rejected, or abandoned. But somehow, you keep rising. The final sign is not just important, it's everything. It's the undeniable mark of a chosen one. You've walked through the fire and came out without the smell of smoke. You've been through storms that should have taken you out. People you trusted turned their backs on you. Friends became foes, and whispers turned into full-blown slander. They threw dirt on your name, hoping it would bury you, but they forgot you were a seed. Instead of breaking, you bloomed. Chosen ones, your survival is no coincidence. This isn't about luck, this is divine preservation. You were covered when you didn't even realize you needed covering. When others crumbled under pressure, you stood tall. Not because you had all the answers, but because you had the favor. Favor doesn't make sense. It doesn't ask for permission. It chooses who it chooses. And you were chosen long before they ever counted you out. And now, you walk differently. There's a stillness to your power, a quiet strength that doesn't need to shout to be felt. You shake rooms not with noise, but with presence. People sense your energy before you speak. They may not be able to explain it, but they know. You've been through things that would have destroyed the average person, and yet you remain unshaken. You are living proof that favor is real, and that it's unfair in the most beautiful way. You're a reminder that when God covers you, no weapon formed against you can prosper. Every attack was a setup for your anointing. Every betrayal was preparation for your elevation. So when they look at you now, they're witnessing the aftermath of grace. And the best part? God still has more in store, because when He has the final say, no one else's opinion matters. Chosen ones, people recognize the divine on you. They might not admit it, but they see it. You're not crazy, you're called. Don't water yourself down to be understood by those who aren't meant to walk with you. Shine boldly, speak wisely, love deeply, but never, ever doubt that you were sent here with a mission. Your life is the sermon someone needs. Your energy is the healing someone's been praying for. And if no one's told you this lately, you are the confirmation someone else has been waiting for. Stay awake, stay aligned. You're not alone. You're chosen. Let the world keep watching. Let heaven keep elevating you. Because the truth is, when you walk in your purpose, nothing can stop the power of a chosen one.